This is Meth Masseuse from our friend Stephen Cogswell. Get it at awtfy.com. That's awtfy.com/masseuse.
Gotta talk about something. Do we have a plan for the show? I'm gonna score some cocaine. And then I'm gonna use that cocaine to sell it so I could get some meth. And then I'll take that and then I'll start a meth factory and use all the money and hire a masseuse who's on duty all the time. And the masseuse will be rubbing my back while she feeds me cocaine and gives me lots of meth because it's a pain. And then I'll walk into Ice Cream Social and say, hello, I'm glad to be on your podcast. I'm here, present, and ready to be funny. You got a masseuse, yeah. You got a masseuse. Such a masseuse. Oh, no, I don't know where else to go with this bit.
Oh, MGWTF, LOL, Cogswell, FTW. You know it's got to be Tuesday night, which means it is time for Night Attack, the show that's the best of the worst of the internet. Hello, I'm Brian, live back home. I made it back. My voice did not, from Las Vegas, and I'm here with my BFF and OAK. It's JRY, Justin Robert Young. How you doing, Justin Robert Young?
Man, I'm doing well. It was a nice day out here in old sunny Oakland, California. We're about to embark on the busiest of the con season. I just finished a book, my billionth fucking book about 1960. Feeling good.
Is this your new Chinese democracy? Is your storytelling project about the 1960s?
I mean, look, there's our Chinese democracy, which is the new Night Attack album.
Still has not come out.
So no,
Which has not come out. Although it's very close. It's very close to being out.
You have no idea how close.
No idea how close.
However close you think it is, it's not that amount. I'm not going to say whether it's closer or farther. I'm just saying
You're wrong.
It's however much you think it's wrong.
Yeah, and then there's this thing which I'm not even going to talk about because the more I feel like I talked about it a lot and then I stopped doing the research and I'm like, no, I just need to not. I'll just complain about reading books and say that it's not for any purpose because it's not. I'm just reading books about the exact same thing over and over and over again so I can find out whether or not one author thinks that Bobby Kennedy smoked Winstons and the other one thinks he smoked Marlboros. And I'm going to mark that occasion down for no reason whatsoever.
I mean, just for your own inherent joy, right? Because you just love history. You're like hardcore in that variety, right?
Yeah, no, I do. I love it. I'm hardcore about it. I'm like Dan Carlin.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, so We've talked before about the strange amnesia that comes over you after a show, and it's very difficult. I would imagine it's even more difficult for you now that you're doing Jury on the Daily and in Politics X3, 3 times a week?
Yeah.
So I genuinely didn't remember if we had talked about my Ice Cream Social appearance last time, but I finally listened to it, and it was
you left the last show and went to go do Ice Cream Social.
It was the same day. It was the same Tuesday night. Okay.
Night, yeah.
Okay.
Which made me really sad about myself that me as your co-host couldn't get you to be as funny as you were on the Ice Cream Social show, which everybody listened to, that came out on Friday. It is so intensely funny. I am so excited, man. That Scoopfest show, which hopefully they will be a part of, and we'll have hopefully maybe well to ask him, but could include a Mikey quiz as well. It might be the most jam-packed Night Attack episode of all time.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. So along those lines, I was talking to Matt Donnelly, who he's opened for Piff the Magic Dragon, and so he set it up for me to go see Piff's show. And he had a new experimental piece that he was working on, and I got to give thoughts or whatever. And then the following day, I was like, who others' thoughts would be really valuable are David Rowan and Brent Braun. Brent Braun, of course, you've seen, he just released the new Position Impossible, incredible carded any number card trick. And David Rowan, of course, the major domo of scamstuff.com. And so we decide that, so I'm like, you guys have to go see the show. And then at this same time, it's one of those nights where I'm like, I'm gonna retire early. I'm gonna take it easy. This is in Vegas. We're at the Flamingo, and so I spend some time in the room just taking it easy. Jason, who again, we're all there for DEF CON or whatever, and so I know Jason is out. I know that Brent and David are in the show. I also know about what time the show gets out. And my thought is when everybody lines up to meet Piff, I'll just get in line with them and I'll say, hey, Piff, it was great talking to you last night. These are my friends who also saw the show. Maybe there's an organic way that we could talk about all this stuff. And then shortly before, when I know Piff's show, which by the way is fucking amazing.
I feel like such a horse's ass because we were staying in the Flamingo not but a few weeks ago, and we could have just walked downstairs and seen it, but it was at the end of like a solid 3 days of literally doing nothing but eating and drinking, and I was like, well, I could also lay in this bed.
It was so good. You know, that chrome-like polish that is only possible by somebody who's at the top of their game, who's doing material that they have refined over the last, 4 or 5 years, just constantly, 7 days a week. Like that first 30 minutes blew me the hell away. His pre-show is amazing. The way he edits down, like it's not enough to show a hilarious morning news interview that he does, but he also makes sure to tweak it and cut in and make sure to comedically set up like dog fart comes in 5, 4, 3, 2, and then you see the news anchor start like, oh boy. I mean, everything about this show was absolutely great. I loved it. And my only regret was that I didn't have enough time to hang out and chat afterwards. And so that's part of why it was so important to me that the other guys go and see it, is because I wanted all of us to have a chance to talk again. But so the show starts at 8. Around 8:45, my phone does this emergency alert, like, you know, that sound.
Yeah.
And it says, dust storm incoming. Don't go outside. And I was like, oh, I guess that's a thing here in Vegas, right? I didn't really think about that. And then and I didn't really worry about it. And then I was like, okay, well, now it's just after 9. And it did not occur to me to think that I was not the only one who received that alert. And that apparently everybody in Piff's audience at that exact moment was receiving the same alert. This did not occur to me yet, right? And so I'm like, oh, well, anyway, I'm just going to wait 15 more minutes and then go on downstairs. And then I get up, and I walk out, and I go to the elevators, and I'm about to, I hit the button to go down, elevators coming up, and then another alert. Boop! And it's like, again, this one is like severe, crazy, insane, dust-laced thunderstorms incoming. BTW, comma, have you seen the movie Dune? Just picture that. That's what's coming. Be very careful. And my phone's going.
I'd like to imagine that as you're coming down, a dude is just busting through the Piff theater, and he's just like, "Not today, God! I'm getting to the Caesars."
Well, so this happens exactly as the elevator doors open, and I step into the elevator and I turn and I press floor 1 because, again, the intention is I know about the time that the show ends. My intention is to get in line with me and my buddies and talk about the bits in Piff's show and how good it is, and then organically be at the end of the line, as often magicians do, and be like, hey, it's me, the guy from last night, and these are the guys whose magic opinions I respect. And instead, I get down to the bottom floor because this is the second alert. The fucking doors open, and I turn around, and it is a surrealist goddamn nightmare because think of how many people are in a very crowded casino on a Saturday night. Now imagine that all of their phones are singing the same note, and the song they're singing is "The World is Ending." So there's harmony of like is happening, but also business is happening. So all I hear is, whoa! I see thousands of people walking as I walk forward, and I see Piff, and I think, oh, I'm too late. The line's already gone and he's still there. And so we establish eye contact and then we nod at each other. And then I realize, oh, no, wait. The line hasn't come out yet. He literally just walked outside of the show and is now ready for the line for everybody who wants to meet him and talk with Mr. Piffles and all that stuff. But we've established eye contact. So I'm sitting there as you hear three things. The sound of all the chorus of phones singing the one tone that means the world is ending with a message that means the world is ending. Hanson's Mmmbop.
Yeah.
And the sound of 1,000 people not giving a fuck while titty dancers are dancing under fluorescent lights. Just daylight conditions. Mmmbop is playing and they're dancing. And
meanwhile, you see a divorced father of 5 for the sales convention softly telling the dealer, "Yeah, I'll split."
And then meanwhile, and then here's the other thing: is like it's fucking chaos, and out come Brent and David, who at this point have been working for like 15, 16 hours straight. They just did an entire day of pitching at DEF CON, and they're all like, hey, we just realized we never ate. We went straight from DEF CON, where we didn't eat all day, to this show where we also didn't eat. We desperately need food. I'm like, you go get food. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I guess I'll hang at the back of the line. And then just the chorus of Apocalypse continues, and Mmmbop continues, and the dancing continues, and everything about this just feels like, or I could go to bed. And I just sort of floated away. And now I'm in the awkward place of like, motherfucking Piff knows I was there. We saw each other.
Yeah.
We had eye contact.
Wow,
we
so
nodded.
you're worse than me.
I mean,
I didn't show up to begin with.
So anyway, I owe Piff a letter of explanation. But that was an
Do you want to
insane
do it now? Do you want to go full screen and just people can just cut it out and send it to them?
No, you know what? Actually, what would be even better is for us to enter uncharted waters, because I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what I want out of what's about to happen. I don't know what will happen out of what will happen. I don't know how anybody will feel about what's about to happen, or what anybody will do with what's about to happen. But the biggest reason in that moment was not the surreality of everything, although it would be very easy for me to hide behind that because it was legitimately so fucked up. I would hope it would stand on its own. But the truth is, hey, Justin, how does Brian feel about keeping feelings secret about things?
I have not known you as a man to do it much. I think that you and Bonnie and how you are, raise your kids are a very expressive family. I think you come from an expressive family, and I think that is transferred and heightened in your career. That you not only as you've transitioned out of being solely a performer and become an internet personality kind of first and foremost, part of that brand is I'm going to be the person that will be honest and open up my life. And you have done that very well. Many might say it is a cornerstone of the career that you have built.
It certainly is a cornerstone of this podcast. And I would say, when we're doing Cord Killers, I don't feel the need to reveal how the invisible deck was done. When we're doing Scam School, I don't feel the need to reveal the time that Indonesian masseuse tried to jerk me off. But in this case, 2 weeks in a row, I feel like I kept a secret from Night Attack, from Chat Realm, on this show. And it really, I didn't think until we talked about this today how much that's been eating me alive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do think that Night Attack is a place where you have talked very openly and honestly about a lot of stuff, as have I, and as has Bonnie and Bryce and everybody else, guests and everything. But certainly it starts from the hosts. And that is, considering this show started out as BB Live show, that starts with you. So I would, as we go into it, I would quibble with the idea that you are keeping a secret. I do think that
regardless of whether I was,
realities
I felt like I was, right? Like
yeah.
you know, there. I wished So before I say this, let me just say that the only reason I didn't say everything at first is because every moment up until now, it felt like it could not be a thing. But now we're at a place where where I have to acknowledge that there's a thing. If you're a longtime fan of Night Attack, its precursor NSFW show, before that BB Live show, then my guess is at some point, even if you're a fan just of Scam School, my guess is at some point you've seen some video of me and my brother, we call him the Butter Brother Parquet, Jay Brushwood, he's in some real medical shit, like real fucking legit ass. The last time I saw him conscious was 12 days ago, medical shit. And Jason and I visited him the day before we left for Las Vegas. And then as today's episode of The Mono Rogue is us doing like combat or whatever. And when we finished all of that, I got the message that Jay had been intubated. He had tubes down his throat. He was in an induced medical coma, and he's not been out since. Like, this is as real as it gets. And if Jay lives the next week, every day after this will be a gift. And the best case scenario is 1 to 3 months of getting through this shit at the hospital, followed by months of relearning how to use his body. And it is the fucking hardest thing I've ever encountered, to have this going on, but also have it, unfortunately, time with shit we've been working on since January, where it feels like my job is to show up and be the guy, be the guy, and be available and be present and be there with everyone. But you know, we had somebody who I guess figured us out that that a couple weeks episode wasn't exactly like a normal Night Attack, and I guess this person thought that we just were phoning it in, and I had to explain, no, that's the day I found out my brother was going into a coma, and I've not spoken to him since. I did visit him today. He's got all the tubes in him, and it's super duper touch and go. In fact, when I said hello, I felt bad because he woke up enough that he started to try to sit up, which is a no-no when you're on a breathing machine and all that stuff. And that's the persistent problems that he's got failing lungs, and every time they rouse him, when they get him close to consciousness, he freaks the fuck out, because who the fuck wouldn't? And unfortunately, they have to put him back under. And my parents are standing vigil for him every single day. And I can't, like, I was there an hour and change, Justin. And I was just like, this is the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And my parents are there all day, every day, because they're fucking saints. And I've done my best to go out and be, I don't know, whatever it is I am, to be that to everyone. But inside, you know, there are these brief moments that you get dialed in, and it's such a blessing to be lost in the moment. And then you remember the fact of what's happening with the guy you spent your entire life with. But then, like a day like today, where you feel it is extraordinarily difficult. And I feel this weird shame for not having shared it, because up until now, we thought at any given moment, Jay was 24 to 48 hours from being out of the hospital, and maybe he was, but now he's most certainly not 24 to 48 hours from getting out of the hospital.
No, I think that's the biggest thing that everybody needs to remember. And you know, I've been talking to you about this since it happened, but I can tell you from an outsider's perspective, this was a thing that was theoretically never any more than 24 to 48 hours from being over, right? And then the 24 to 48 hours added up, and next thing you know, now like just based on the timeline of what's happening, a recovery for Jay would mean a lot of time.
So there's two comments in the chat room, both of which are things that I think I don't know the answer to, and I think it's important that we talk it out. One of which is Husky Caucasian says, Brian, there's no shame in keeping this private, none at all. You're right, there's no shame, but there is loneliness, and there is the sense like my deepest frustration over the last week while I was in Las Vegas was I just wished my mom had the bandwidth to send me a text alert every hour on the hour of everything that was happening. And I realized, because we were this afternoon, we were gearing up for like, okay, how do we hide this for a third week in a row? And I realized that what a hypocrite I would be, because my number one frustration is like, I want to hear all of this about what's happening with Jay. Jay is beloved to me. And I realized, oh wait, he's also beloved to this community. And I would be I don't want to say a bad person, but I'm guessing they would like to hear about it just like I would like to hear about it.
I know as your friend, and I'm sure Bonnie can speak as your wife and somebody who is going through it on a daily basis as you are, that this kind of pain when you are living this kind of life becomes harder and harder to hide. Yeah. There's like not a lot of ways where as this elephant grows bigger and bigger, and yet multiple times a day you're thinking, okay, well, how am I going to react? All right, so how am I going to maneuver around this pain and sell things at DEF CON? How am I going to maneuver around this pain and be on court and talk about how much I liked Preacher this week? How am I going to maneuver around this pain? And like, how am I going to maneuver around this pain? And then there's a show like this where so much of it is about our own lives. We have built this brand on personal revelations, and not to mention the fact that Jay's not just insert family member here. This isn't Uncle Mmmbop. Jay's been a part of the show for as long, if not longer than I have. And granted, not every week, but he's somebody that our audience knows because he's spent the time and he's called in and he's been in the chat and he has been a part of this program. And it gets to a certain point where I know as your friend watching you try to maneuver this, where like I even told you today, I'm like, look, we got to turn a valve. We got to turn a pressure valve because like this can't stay in. Like this is something where it's like there's no way to deal with this pain, right? But there is at least not trying to hide it.
Well, and it was you that busted me on it. Where like, hey man, the third time you CC'd me on a response to someone dropping the fucking emotional nuclear bomb of my brother may be dying, that says that we gotta talk this out. We gotta figure out what's going on because
something has to change. Like and also it's like again, just to please be patient, friends who care about Jay and care about Brian and care about this show. There will be news when there is news. The part of the pain here is that there is no news. And as much as Brian would want his mom to text him every hour on the hour with the news, the news is going to be the same, which is the worst, that you can get, right? So
which
it's
is
like,
no news. Like they say no news is good news, but in this case, no news is literally no news. It's not. That's not great.
It's been agonizing. With the way I think of it, though, for you, anyways, is like today I came home and then Callie was showing me the 3 shell trick with like little cups.
Callie was?
Yeah, except of course it was like a 5-year-old does it, right?
Yeah.
So she hid some popcorn under it, and it's so obvious. Like she very clumsily handles the one with the popcorn in it.
Just amateur hour. Just a real piece of shit.
There's a legacy to protect here, kids. Step it up.
Just sloppy.
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes you can't hide. It's like how do you hide that, especially when you know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like we are emotional children when it comes to hiding which cup the pee is under or the popcorn is under. And in fact, like there was that moment when Bonnie, I'm sure this came from a good place, but I didn't know that you had done this. Bonnie just Facebook messages, prayers for Jay Brushwood, and then my phone just fucking catches fire right in my hand from all of the inbound texts, and all I'm looking at is I'm thinking like, fuck, so much work. Like, and I decided right then and there, I'm like, not answering any of them. Let them eat static.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
and then you got your revenge on me because I got them all. Brian's not answering me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I believe in prayer. So like, so if you do too, we could really use those prayers right now. If not, just your warm thoughts and thank yous. But I think that takes us into our next thing is, don't text us.
That's the other thing is
don't
everybody
make
says
more work for
everybody
us.
says that was the other question is what can I do to help? And sadly the answer is about as much as I can, which is jack and shit. He is at a very, very good hospital with they have all the sci-fi tools like they come in and they got a gizmo when they can't see your veins or whatever. There's a camera that sees the infrared shit in your veins on your hand, but then also it projects. There's a pico projector that projects back what the camera is seeing. So basically,
you can see the vein on the top.
Yeah,
of
right. They hold a gizmo
God.
over you. It's like fucking Avatar shit, where all of a sudden all the veins are exposed and all that
my
shit. So the answer is there's nothing we can do, and I think that's the horrific. Oh yeah, here he goes. We have videos of this shit. It's pretty fucking amazing. My parents didn't know that this was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
It looks like a freaking drone camera of
It
the
does.
countryside, but
Yeah, it does. It looks like the
We're about
roads
to
of
bomb.
Mosul.
The road to Mosul, is that what you said?
Yeah.
wow.
So anyway, I don't know
mean-
what to do with any of this shit, man. I don't know. I'm not good
You
at
don't
hiding.
have to do any don't try to get caught up in what you can do because you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's let me Brian and Bonnie, please correct me if any of this is off the reservation.
Sure.
There's not a lot that anybody can do. We can understand right now that you can see the love in the chat room, but tweets, texts, communications, emails. Look, if you want to write a big email about how much Jay has meant to you, just say read when you want and understand that there will be no immediate response to anything.
Swear to God, look at Media King 909 in that fucking chat. That makes me feel like somebody was listening to our fucking conversation.
Brian said,
Media King 909, you are actually undoing like the real hard work that I think Bonnie and I were trying to do.
I
Motherfucker.
kid you
Fucking-
not.
I
Brian
fucking-
said today, he goes, I said, well, should we blah, blah? He goes,
Bonnie's suggestion was, why don't we give out the address of the new property and then people can send stuff? I was like, motherfucker, don't you do that, because everyone's going to have the same. They're going to think Jay's a real ham. Let's send hams. Let's 5 hams for Jay. Hashtag. We'll send
He
600
literally
hams.
said this. This was a literal. This is not Brian doing a bit.
I was like, this is quite
said
literally the
Brian
worst fucking
wanna
idea
send
in our
hams.
marriage, Bonnie. What are you doing?
I just thought a get well note would go
No,
on
no. I don't want it exploded
no,
inbox.
No, by the way, Media King 909, there's no way, unless you did fucking tap that phone, you piece
I
of
know.
shit.
I am really kind of freaked out about that.
There's no way that anybody could know, so don't feel bad about it. But just for right now, the right now, and look,
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I will allow this. You can send virtual hams to Jay. Just use hashtag hams for Jay. That's all. That's the limit. If you want to feel like you're gonna do something, it'll be as productive as sending an actual ham.
There's a ham,
Just do hashtag hams for Jay.
there's a ham emoji.
But please don't don't give me homework.
Yeah.
So here's there will likely be a time in the future where there is more emotional bandwidth and there is more time and the news is clearer, where there will be that room for some of this, now is certainly not the time.
Look, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Being super fucking real. We're telling you this week because it might be a different story next week, and I think everybody is aware of that. And this is the hardest fucking shit.
Well, and the thing is that it could be. We hope it is a different story. We hope it is a story with a clearer trajectory to where to. Some kind of certainty.
Okay,
right?
Let me put it this way: if it's a move to the positive, it'll be microscopic and incremental. This is going to be fucking months and months and months if it goes in the positive direction. If there's a clear narrative next week, you'll know it because fucking we'll play the one bank show that we have. It's as real as it gets, man. It's like fucking. And it's so hard to be there in the room and realize that the moment I started speaking, he started to try to sit up, and it's like, you can't do that, bro. You gotta lay there and let the fucking machine breathe for you. And I just wish there was some way to get through to him. And the one thing he needs to do is relax and let shit happen and get better. But I don't know if we're lucky. If we're lucky, in the next few hours, he'll have a tracheotomy, and his fucking life is going to be different forever. He'll be able to. They're thinking that when he doesn't have a garden hose shoved down his fucking throat, that maybe he'll rouse up and not be super fucking panicked, and maybe we can have an eye-to-eye conversation where we ask questions and he taps yeses and nos. But there's, from what I understand, there was a brief moment while I was gone where he was aware and wanted to write, but his body is so fucked up he can't even write. And they figured out that wasn't going to work. And so mom asked, oh, you want to know how long you've been in here? And he nods, with these pleading eyes, and she says 2 weeks. And he just fucking started streaming tears. This shit is as real as it gets. And on Sunday was a really, really hard day because I realized it had been long enough that I needed to break the news to everybody because there was enough people who really dig Jay, that I needed to tell them. And I was trying to think of how do I put it into context. I was like, maybe I play this Scam School episode of me and Jay where he was particularly funny and you really get the dynamic between the two of us. Or maybe I do this, or maybe I just fucking realized that I was writing his eulogy, and I just broke the fuck down and then had to go to a booth and sell Scam School books. It was really rough. And then it was pretty rough.
It's just there's a surprising amount of work going on, so please don't make more work for us. But because you're working on these emotions, you're working on supporting parents, you're working on supporting Jay, you're working on seeing him, just getting to that hospital and back or whatever, and then there's the real work, so we can keep feeding our family.
Yeah, well, and we haven't even gotten to the kids just know that Uncle Jay's sick. That's all
they know. I mean, we've been.
Oh, you've told them, shit's real.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Penny. You had your period and your uncle's in trouble the same week.
You don't get.
Oh, is that? Oh, you don't get to say that. All right.
And you certainly don't conflict the two.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. No. Let's divorce those.
That's that
was actually a wonderful moment because she handled it with so much class and panache. I thought that was really cool.
Okay.
Too much?
Now you have definitely overshared, and you're in trouble now.
Right.
Oh my God.
Well, it's not your
She's a teenager. That happens, right?
Oh, would you stop?
Okay.
Okay, we can move on.
Okay.
We can change the subject.
Forgot I had that there.
Hey, all right. So one more time for everybody who's just joining us live, the details are going to be scarce. News is going to be scarce. Just hashtag hams for Jay. Like, and just know that I know that all the Brushwood family, very much appreciates everybody who loves them. And if there's one thing that I think we can all agree, specifically through any kind of trauma, is like everybody understanding that, love means something. This internet community means something. This extended family means something. And that's why this is the honesty that, I think Brian, you understand that on some level, because you looked at it even in a way that I didn't, because I'm kind of like, through all this, I'm just your advocate. I'm like, whatever there is, I'm just here for you, because I know you're there for everybody else, right? Like, you're there for your parents and Bonnie and the kids and, of course, Jay. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be Brian's guy. So whatever the shit happens with Brian, I'm going to give you the Brian survival perspective. I am Brian's survival advocate, Justin Robert Young. I'm having my cards printed. I'm going to hand them out to anybody that I meet. But you were like, oh, no, I do think that it's like I'm holding something back from the audience. And I'm like, I don't know about holding something back. But when you look at this and you look at how much everybody cares about it, like, this is an extended family. And if there's one thing that does matter, it is the fact that everybody has affection and love for somebody that has brought so much joy into everybody's life and is currently in a rough spot.
Agent Sign in the chat says, can we help with the GoFundMe? Again, man, I'm with you. We all want to believe we can do a thing to cause a thing, but none of us can. Like, quite literally, all I've done is dump my pain onto you. We are all equally impotent in the eyes of this situation. Yeah. And all we could do is, if you want to do something, is just understand that, I'm going to take quiet solace in knowing that all of you are with me in this moment, in this frustration of knowing that there ain't jack shit that can be done about it, and that all we could do is wait and see. And it's quite literally the most miserable, worst position ever.
Yeah, let me go as Brian, as Brushwood family advocate. Let me spell a few things out that are cool. Cool. Hashtag hams for Jay. Not cool. Speculating in any way on what's happening, asking questions about what's happening. Here's a fun little flowchart. Should I ask Brian or Bonnie any questions? No. I'm really close to them. No. But I'm literally, I swear to God, we're best friends. No. If there's a lot going on, if there's room, there will be room made, and that's the best that can be done right now.
Can I throw another one in there?
Yeah.
Hey man, if you just need someone to talk to, you can always talk to.
Like, and it's not about that anybody can't help. It's just that, again, right now, look, if this were a situation where it was like, if Jay needs a new kidney all of a sudden, everyone will know.
Yes.
There will immediately, we will go live on this channel and say, who wants to give up kidneys for Jay? It's not hams for Jay anymore. It's kidneys for Jay. And we will look and solicit any possible help.
Anyway, it turns out that we're like
nothing to be helped with.
Turns out we talked to a doctor and hams can't be put into people. We're real sorry that we encouraged everyone to do that. Also, I swear to God, if even one of you is thinking it'll be clever to send an actual ham, then we are not friends, and I will punch you in the face.
Really,
No,
not a joke.
no.
Please,
Yeah.
literally, don't send us stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, hams for Jay is a hashtag, and that's it. You are officially an asshole if you in any. Should I send a real ham to Jay? No. So yeah, man. Let me just say this. Jay's a great person, and he I think that this is obviously a trying time for everybody, and I thank you for sharing this, and I hope on some level, to be totally honest with you, man, like, that this is unmanageable trauma, and literally the only quiet solace that any of us can offer, and I include me along with everybody else in the chat and everybody in this community, that we can offer, is that you don't have to suffer it alone. and that's what hopefully everybody can kind of understand and appreciate. If you've ever been through something like this, then I think anybody who's been through stuff like this understands that, look, there's a time for this, there's a time for other people to be a part of it. There's a time where you just need to listen. And right now we're just at the point where we just need to listen.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like, all the grown-ups and a lot of my peers have already been through something like this, but this is my first go around of something this serious, and I'm doing the best. It's funny because you could lose yourself in your work, and if you're drafting or architecting or calculating or lever pulling or whatever, but when your job is to go to the fucking comedy factory and now, how about some insights and revealing wisdom and make us laugh, let us feel joy? I realize oh wait, no, this is there are downsides to this biz. It's not just a pure joy factory at all times.
And by the way, let me just say this for everybody: as soon as we show up to the venue, before the curtain opens, every second of conversation that I've had with Brian has, on some level, been about this, be it about the actual health of Jay or everything that's going on around it. And then the curtains open up and we little song, little dance, little seltzer down your pants, curtains close, and it's back to talking about this for as long as it happened. And that's the level that had to be carved out while this was something that was, again, an influx situation.
So this is one of those weird things that makes me pause to consider all of the comedy greats. Literally, I think about anybody who's performed comedy after real pain. You think about George Carlin. You think about even your Jerry Seinfeld or whatever. They're all old enough that they've already been through whatever this is, and this has to be a familiar territory to them. It just makes me want to. I just respect everybody older than me more, because you realize, as we all march towards that cliff, only more of these kind of situations happen.
Oh God, I mean, life is fragile.
Thank God in the Bible.
Yeah, it's a sobering fact to realize that none. Today isn't promised tomorrow. And that's hopefully on some level is a positive, because you get to realize then today's the thing. Today's the day I need to make a thing happen, or today's the day I need to call that person, or today's the day I need to make make some progress or whatever. So at least if tomorrow's very different, I can say, well, I had yesterday.
Yeah, man, it fucking sucks to feel so just impotent rage at the world and the fact that there's nothing to be done. It did feel good. The real bummer is Jay's in a place that's very far away, so it's me going and visiting him meant not doing anything else today. I got back, an hour before the show.
And that's, again, I mean, I just need to illustrate that this is a very weird situation for Brian, in that, so he wakes up. By the way, he's a social media personality for which, maintaining a social media presence is literally part of the job. It's not just everybody else can use Twitter for look at this James Comey meme, and I bet you this guy is here's a duck who farts and accidentally shits. Ha. But Brian's got to use it for to keep to keep the presence up. It's part of the job. So literally what you did was wake up, interact with humans that can be, I don't know if y'all have picked up on this, but text-based internet can often be where implication and inflection and the reasoning behind your words can go to die. So just words while nothing but dark, stormy clouds are happening behind your eyes, you're just getting random words on the internet that you're reading the worst, the worst tone into. And then you got into a car, drove for hours. I don't know if y'all have heard this. Traffic in Austin is bad, and this is far away. Drove through Austin traffic to see one of the most horrifying things you've ever seen in your life. Commiserated with your parents, got back in a car, drove through Austin traffic again, and then we're like, all right. And so literal sentence that was said on the phone. So we're going to do a bit where we're going to pick the funniest fart sound.
Well,
I mean, are we prepped for that bit?
we have something else in mind.
Okay,
but we will do such a bit very soon.
By the way, Bonnie, I just got a text from Josie saying like, "Hey, please send Mom into the other room, please, please, please." And I was like, "Oh fuck, did Josie just hear all of this?" But apparently, no, she just was independently sad about the exact thing that we're talking about. So all I know is it's not my fault that time.
No. We, in fact, everything was not loud, surprisingly.
Oh, good.
I guess
good.
we weren't shouting about it. It was just.
Hey man, you want to take a moment to thank the people who make the show possible, and then maybe select fart sounds.
Hey, look. Not only do you guys are you guys a part of this family, but you guys literally pay the bills here. So thank you very much. Patreon.com/Night Attack.
By the way, don't forget that we're trying to build Diamond Club Studios. We found out that there's no septic system at the new property, so if you want to throw some money into the shitter, then know that 35 cents of every dollar you contribute will be thrown into the shitter on the new property.
How does the shitter get 7 times my pay?
Okay, well, I wasn't going to bring that up. It's just that I assume you'll get the benefit when you get to shit there.
No, because you're only metaphorically shit on, Bryce. That thing gets for real shit on.
Just know that you're supporting something very, very special and precious. We're coming up on 10-year anniversary of starting this shenanigan, and if you have enjoyed being part of our extended family, then and if you have the means. By the way, that was my favorite thing. I was listening to the Sam Harris podcast, and he does a 7-minute pitch explaining why Patreon, he's like, look, I'm exploring the deepest issues of consciousness and what it means to be a human, and I can't be taken credibly if the next words out of my mouth are, no, but seriously, let's talk about memory foam and why that's the best night's sleep you'll ever have. He says we have to change to a culture for value, and I think that he makes a really, really good point. So if you... But he also says very specifically, I am absolutely not talking to anyone for whom a $5 a month or $1 per episode contribution would make a significant impact on your life. If that is who you are and where you're at, then by all means, no. Save that coupon for another time when you hit the lottery or whatever. Which I really, really like. But meanwhile, there is one thing we could do, and it's totally dumb, but we like to call it the...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour. It's an hour of it.
Keep vamp. I'm trying to find
Hey,
one.
everybody. A lot of people are serious these days, but I'm not. My name is Silly McGirt. I'm a world
Silly
famous
McGirt.
comedian. Bryce, let's go ahead and do our 2-man act.
Yeah. Oh, silly. Fancy
it's
seeing
me,
you.
Silly McGirt. I'm just here planning my schemes.
Well, don't plan any schemes in front of me, silly McGirt.
Oh, did I say planning my schemes? I meant running for office.
Silly McGirt and his assistant. It's me, your boss, Electric Gears.
Oh, Mr. Gears.
Yeah, well, are you guys planning some shenanigans again? I hope not after the last time.
Not.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not planning on engaging in a all-out war against Electric Gear Corp.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because me, President Electric Gears, when my great-great-great-great-grandfather, Electric Gears Magoo, declared war on the McGee family and founded Electric Gears Corp., in which we used rocks Electric Gears will always be about rocks. Some people say we should modernize. I say, get bent, fucko.
Well, I certainly know, for me, that we can all agree, we can all raise a toast here together by saying that certainly after Electric Gears is burned to the ground, we won't all, in an eerie tone of voice, chant together, Electric Gears.
I wish you would. If it ever left, Electric Gears should be remembered as the greatest rock company in all of Bedlam Corp.
Hip hip electric gears.
Electric Gears.
Well, I trust you two gentlemen will be about your business, not planning a revolt against me, Mr. Electric Gears. Of the Electric Gears Rock Corporation.
Hey, Mr. Electric Gears.
Hey, I'm sorry, yes?
Let's toast and drink together.
Okay, well, it's weird that we're doing drinking on the job, but what, okay.
Finally, you will feel the retribution that you have put upon the proletariat.
No, I'm sorry. I just I was thinking of something funny, and then it got caught in my throat, and then sorry. I'm sorry. You were saying we should drink to me, Electric Gears.
Yes.
It's a living.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Good bit. That was a stealth bit. I didn't realize what we were doing until like halfway through.
I didn't mean for it to turn out that way. By the way, thank you, Electric Gears. We
Thank you very
appreciate your
much.
ongoing support.
Electric Gears, you're the best. You're the best.
And of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. Oh, excuse
Yeah,
me.
if you have Amazon Prime, guess what? You have Steve Jobs' money.
Well,
Steal it from Steve Elon and give it to us.
Okay, yeah.
By just subscribing and
I feel like this process is complicated enough that we don't need to add other complications.
No, I think you're right. Elon Gates has too much money, and he's got to give it to me. Okay, look. If you
I mean,
hate
he's gonna
the
spend it
Berkshire
on his
Hathaway
girlfriend.
Corporation as much as I do, then you feel like you should give us half of the $5 free that you get. Okay, look, if you have Amazon Prime, you got $5 to give us. It comes from somebody who is not you, and meanwhile, it's real money to us. Subscribe, and we'll mention your name like Sebenitsu.
Sebenisu, yeah. The Crimson Zamboni. We also had Jared Jensen earlier. ICU, I saw. Scandrel also subscribed. Thank you very
Steve
much.
Elon Bezos. Thank you,
Yeah,
Steve
T-Dub.
Elon Bezos. Thank you,
T-Dub
Steve
Money,
Elon
subscribe
Bezos.
to Twitch Prime. Thank you to Aaron Byrne, too, for subscribing right now, literally, on Twitch Prime. Hey, by the way, this does not renew every month, so you got to do it every month.
Yeah,
Right.
every single month, Trey Warren. I'm looking at you. Thank you for the money now, but Stoic Squirrel remembers to do it every month. Why don't you?
Yeah, and another thing, Ace Hasley is my favorite member of KISS.
Yeah, but Joey Katwara is my favorite state senator.
But meanwhile, Codes from Home really should have made the All-Star game.
All right, but Gambling Man agrees. He had the over on the spread.
Indeed. And also, finally, in closing, I would like to say, Strike It Rich won. Save my bacon to end the bit with a flourish.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very, very much, everybody. Again, if you did it last month, you got to do it this month. So it's the 14th now. Congratulations to us. You're paying us money that you don't have to, that you already paid for because you have Twitch Prime.
And at the end of the show, we're going to shout out the bit bosses, people who have submitted, donated the most bits at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that.
Bits are a thing.
Yeah.
Bit boss. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'm a
Dude,
bit
there's
boss.
the bit boss, there's the dealer, there's the ladies dancing while Mmmbop plays,
There's a
and
small
No, wait.
hours of
That-
cell phones.
That I can't get over. Wait, full fluorescent lights on.
Oh yeah. It deeply disturbed. Oh shit! I didn't even tell you. Fucking Jason Murphy had never been to Vegas before, and his first Vegas experience was also at DEF CON. It was a surrealist nightmare for him. He was deeply disturbed. Out of everything, he would not shut up about like, but all the lights are on and they're just dancing with these soulless dead eyes and their exposed heinies and what is this
By the
town?
way, when you are walking through from the rooms to the front of the Flamingo, the dancing girls, their backdrop in glamorous, glittering Las Vegas is a Mexican restaurant that I nicknamed Carlos E. Mencias because I forget the name.
You're talking about the Carlos and Charlie's there. I know
Carlos
exactly what you're talking about.
Mencias and a very sparsely populated sports book. So there is somebody for whom maybe has a college degree at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, gyrating to literally, they don't get to choose. It's just whatever comes on.
But
On tables, on the like stools behind the dealers, while a very, very quiet divorcee splits on 11.
So we went.
Wait. No,
Yes,
this I'm trying to grok this, but
Yeah.
you, Mmmbop was playing.
Yeah, no, the lyrics
From
Mmmbop,
Hanson.
boopy-doop bop, boo.
No, but that's
bop,
like
beep-a-da, beep,
that's like a song
bop,
for 5-year-olds.
beep-a-da-bop, boo,
That's like
da.
really
That was a big hit.
It was a national mainstream crossover.
20
Not even
years
crossover.
ago.
Also, they still perform, and they have like for a certain age demographic that now is moving into buying
Divorced
VIP suites.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
have
you
a
don't
big-
know where they make all their money. They make all their money now from their custom beer, and you're gonna think this is a joke. And then Bryce is gonna show you a picture of it. They make all their money from their beer. It's an IPA called Mmmbop. Real thing, brilliant and wonderful, and good for them. They should make all the money doing that.
I don't know. I just think that if I were ever to strip in Vegas, then I would sign some kind of paper that says, "But I get to pick."
Hold on, Leah. Let's dive in on this fantasy. Let's feel this out. All right, in what situation does this happen? You walk in and they're like, "Hello, lady. You want to strip here in Vegas? Well, let me tell you, it's a hard
Oh,
racket."
hold on, wait a minute. No, Brian. Let's let Bonnie. Let's say you decided. All right, this art thing going well, but what could really go well is me stripping in Vegas. And you were to do it tomorrow. What would be the first step? Where would you go to get a job stripping in Vegas?
So, okay, you've just teleported. You've landed Southwest Airlines. You've Ubered. You're on the strip. You're looking up and down. What do you look for?
How do you imagine this process going?
Oh my God. No, this is really sad. What did I step into? Okay. Well, I'd find the Hot Flesh Cantina, where they specialize in a certain demographic of women who are stripping because they're hitting menopause.
Okay. Well, keep in mind, normally businesses are built for the consumer, not for the employees.
Oh no,
So, who is
if
the
I have
clientele?
learned anything is that there is
the Hot
someone for
Flesh Cantina.
everyone.
The
There-
Hot
Oh,
Flesh?
you see, I've mistook it.
Okay.
I thought Hot Flesh. Well, I'm closer to that.
Okay.
And then I roll in. And I'm like, this is the Hot Flesh Cantina. I might be able to strip for you guys then. And they gotta go, no, this is a Hot Flesh Cantina. And they're like,
So in your perfect
Right.
dream scenario, you went to the wrong place.
that's the only way I can imagine ever. I mean, no.
Got it. Just
And also, hold on. Also, fill out for me. What does the Hot Flesh Cantina look like? Give me a comp, like another restaurant that you walk in and you're like, oh, this looks like a blank.
Right. No, this place is very dark.
So dark that you can barely just see the outlines of whatever's dancing.
Oh
in front of you.
no, that's it. This is the it's very dark with backlit and screens up.
So everybody looks like the silhouettes from the beginning of an old James Bond movie.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That is the scenario in which, you know.
Oh my God, there it is.
Yeah. Except what you don't realize is that this is all like because it's silhouetted, you can wear Spanx up the wazoo on that.
Up the wazoo.
Yeah.
What does Spanx up your wazoo do for you?
Well,
Hey, what are you looking for? Spanx up the wazoo? That's next door. This is the Hot Flesh Cantina.
well, Spanx up the wazoo to find that precious mound in between your butt cheeks. So
Precious mound.
The mound
Is that what it's
between
called? The precious mound between your butt cheeks.
Those butt cheeks.
It's the most
Where I
precious
find you
mound.
when I have the Spanx.
yeah, so I might could pull off a silhouette with Spanx as help. I'm just
Okay,
giving
so-
free
so,
advertisement.
Again, this is the scenario in which you have decided you want to go to Vegas. You go to a completely dark restaurant. We haven't really gotten to exactly how they make money, but it's just a bunch of white screens where women only in silhouette dance behind a projected.
I
You
would
were
like
given a free ticket and made up a complete.
I would like to believe that the manager is like, all right, I hope you're ready, lady. When you need Spanx up the wazoo, and Bonnie's just like, I got this. I'm ready.
All right.
Now,
But
what
anyways,
would you imagine the clientele at the Hot Flesh Cantina that serves
Yeah,
beer?
who's
is?
super excited? Be like, no, you understand this place? They got like backlit. Everybody's a silhouette.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Hey, bro, I know you were thinking would you going to Vegas for your bachelor party, but I just read about the hottest fucking place. It's called the Hot Flesh Cantina, and they've got everything. Women behind screens that you can't see and barely make out. It's only in silhouette, and everything's totally dark. Come on, bro.
Also, whoa, you don't want to go? Did I tell you they got Spanx out the wazoo?
Fucking montage.
am I supposed to say something? It sounds like y'all covered it. Well, the clientele is mostly women, ironically, and
Oh,
they
they're
all
there
go
to
to see. They're there to see the demonstration of Spanx, and then they're like, oh,
So
wow,
the women
that
are
is
all
a-
there to be like so courageous, so courageous.
Yeah.
I wish I
They're
could be like
training
these
each
ladies.
other.
Brian, you just missed it. This is affiliate marketing. Like, they walk in to the Hot Flesh Cantina, a
By-
fully women clientele.
And it
they
says-
watch.
But it says like Hot Flesh Cantina. It says by Spanx registered trademark.
No. You don't see it. And here, let me pitch this. All right, 'cause
Okay,
I feel like
all
we
right,
got this on our hands.
All right, look,
So,
I was thinking about spending all this money on a septic tank, but if you have a good investment,
Fuck
I'll
this.
do that instead.
get it right. Sell that fucking albatross at a price. That 7-anchor anchor around your neck. Let's get
Seven-anchor
this
anchor.
money. Let's get this money where it's gonna make money, baby. The Hot Flesh Cantina. Here's the deal. Walk in, and it's all women, right?
Yeah.
And they see a silhouette dancing, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they're getting mad, man. They're getting pissed. They're throwing their fucking LaCroix at the screen. Like it's getting pissy. Like people are like they're gripping their fucking minivan keychain so tight that the horn's going off. Next thing you know, lights go on. Bonnie walks out, Spanx up the wazoo, and is like, "This could be you, ladies," and exit through the gift shop. Spanx on Spanx on Spanx. Everybody's got their credit cards out. Next thing you know, we're cashing in.
All right, go on, keep going.
Oh my god!
All right, you were saying.
For the record, by the way, for the record, Brian just ran over and picked up what looks to be a like rap video size handful of bands. These are bands to make them dance, like fucking literal, just money on money, a lot of money, a ridiculous amount of money that was on the floor apparently because it didn't go anywhere.
I bought. At some point, it just occurred to me that I think it was when we were doing the Macaulay Culkin shoot that I was like, man, at some point I'm gonna wish we had movie money, so I should just buy it right now. So for like,
So you didn't buy those with the purpose in mind?
No, it was preventative maintenance. I bought like $100,000 of fake $100 bills.
Yeah. So like,
And they all say like for motion picture purposes on them.
Yeah,
Here,
they're
can
very
you see it?
distinctly
Yeah.
marked.
I
when
mean,
you
I
look
don't know,
them up
dude. You
close.
tell me. I mean, that looks pretty legit.
That looks legit.
This
I
looks
mean,
dangerously
that-
close to just like straight up counterfeit hundreds.
When
So-
you see it in person, though,
so Brian doesn't tell me this, and I walk down, and by the way, we
check the mail.
I mean, not too long ago, I got like lots of money in coins, and like, oh wait, what is this? We've gotten sheets of dollar bills in the mail that weren't cut, and all sorts of weird stuff. And then this money, and you should have seen my face. I'll recreate it for you. Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, here, put on those Spanx. Get
I was
behind the
like-
silhouette. How fast did you realize that it was bullshit?
Okay, that was not a truthful telling.
And by the way, for the audio listeners, that was Bonnie having extreme excitement and then the poutiest face you could possibly. It wasn't even anger or disappointment. It was literally just pouting, like she woke up from a really good dream.
It was no okay. I picked it up in the mailbox, and I was halfway home before I pulled. I'm like, "What is this for?" And I pulled out the pamphlet, and it says "movie money," and I was like, "So I walked like
You
thinking,
spent like half a mile thinking that somebody just sent us $100,000 of cash, and then you
why and what? Glorious. Maybe we have a shitter now.
Our
Oh.
ships come in.
our shit's come in. Oh my God, we will have to sell those shipwrecks. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, I'll invest in your property.
There we go. I feel like we got it going on. That's a lot of fucking money, man. Like the funny thing is that you also just came back from
Vegas.
Well, a cash-only
and
event.
a big cash-specific selling opportunity, right?
Oh, so
I
wait,
hung out with
did
Darren last
you have
night,
your
so
own
I've
version?
literally done nothing but talk to people from DEF CON about how much cash they have on them.
Did you have a Bonnie experience just now? Like for a split second, you thought that was all real
Oh
cash?
no, I thought it was real. All right, I don't want to get into it, but there was a conversation that we had while you were in Vegas, in which it ended with you cackling. I'm in bed with $20,000.
That's not true. That's an exaggeration.
How much of an exaggeration?
Diamond Time is where you shout out your projects live here, right here on Diamond Club, because we take care of our own. If you head on over to diamondclub.reddit.com or reddit.com/r/Diamond Club, you can tell us about what you're up to, and we'll make sure to shout it out right here live on the show.
Absolutely, Brian, which is why we begin with, again, so what am I supposed to be on here?
Yeah,
Sort it by top. We took contest mode out, so just sort it by top, and whatever has the most
Okay,
points.
so is Think Thin Nick
Yeah.
the number one?
Thin Nick is one. What Jane says is
All right,
number
all right,
two.
cool. As long as we got number one. Hi. This week, I'd like to shout out our Diamond Club. You can literally post anything on it, and if it gets enough upvotes, it'll be broadcast to thousands of people. I don't understand why there aren't more submissions every week. Also, while I'm here, may I suggest checking out episode 495 of Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social, titled Diet Doctor Party.
Dr. Panty, Diet Dr. Panty.
Well, he said party.
Well, he didn't listen hard enough. Hello.
That's all. Hope to see more activity here next week. I agree. I think that subreddit is great, and we have so much amazing stuff in like our Discord, like the fan made channel in the Discord, that I feel like would really, really, really live well on the the subreddit.
By the way, that's actually my mid-year's resolution is both the Discord, because of course we have the Modern Rogue Discord. There's the Chat Realm Discord. There's so much good stuff.
Wait, watch this one.
Can you guess my race?
Nightattack.tv/Discord.
It's a great gif. But anyway, both Reddit and Discord. I think I'm really dialing in on those are my new. Because I realized I'm starting to filter myself on the bigger platforms like YouTube and fucking full stop. I legit think I'm about to delete my Facebook. I think not just the hashtag, but like there was a moment, when I was dwelling on the situation with Jay, that the Facebook app popped up with a hey, did you know it's so-and-so? Yeah, it's your 4-year anniversary of being friends with so-and-so. And all of a sudden, like fucking, there's a lot of people I follow and I'm friends with and whatever. But I was like, motherfucker, that name was picked by a robot because it knew that it would manipulate me into feeling so, like statistically, that name is the name that I'm most likely to open. So it's fucking picking this statistically significant time to poke me without my permission and remind me of that. Fucking the AI robots are stealing brain cycles to which they are not entitled. It is the equivalent of a webpage that is mining cryptocurrency without my permission. I got so irrationally fucking angry in that moment that I was like, I that's it. Fuck this platform. Fuck Facebook is everything wrong with the internet. I am OUT out. Say what you will about Twitter, but at least it's a goddamn honest fucking real-time chat room where everybody has a voice.
For now. And this is what grief sounds like, guys.
All right.
Well, here, Brian, be like me. Literally just treat Facebook as a place, like Facebook treats it, as a place where you dump empty, unfeeling advertising, because that's effectively all I use it for now. It's like, no more, it doesn't have access to my personal feelings. Like, I'm literally just dumping, I have a new product out. Please, business people, buy it. And there we go. Facebook, you can determine how many people get to see it, and I have no say over that. Fuck that platform.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So I'm doing my little Facebook thing. Okay. I go there to shop now because it knows what I like to look. I mean, oh my God. No.
Don't even get me started.
Right, no, I hate
get
it
me
too.
started.
So, but so I'm poking along on Facebook, and then it sends me a request to do a survey. I was like, I'll give it to you, motherfucker. So I do their survey, and they're so really sad. It was the saddest little survey. Is like, does Facebook help you with your friends? It says, are you glad
to? It was just a naked request for validation.
It was just a naked, saddest, like pathetic friend kind of way to like try to manipulate you into like making them feel good. Like, don't you like me anymore? I'm Facebook. Remember, I help you with your friends. It asks questions like, do you know what to talk about with your friends because of us? It says like, are you friends with more people because of us? Hey, we're your pal, Facebook. It was just so sad.
Well, did you say no to everything?
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
Meanwhile, what Jane says, writes, hey, Diamond Club, Dragon Con is still closer still. If you've not grabbed your Diamond at Dragon gear, do it now. Make sure you have it before the con. I've added the requested other style stickers and the version for the lighter shirts, original dark shirts. Go to YOLO420.com/diamond at Dragon, not Diamond at Dragon. I guess that works too.
Dragon, no.
Diamond at Dragon. Take 2 for your light shirts, YOLO420.com, Diamond at Dragon 2.
Oh my God, I swear to God we didn't set this one up. RJ Jackson 91 says, you know what sucks? Needing a kidney.
Jiminy
Damn
criminy.
it. Oh, God damn it. Shit. It's even called kidneyforzach.com. Fuck.
Yeah. You know what sucks even harder? Not being able to get one because people refuse to register. So I've decided to become a living kidney donor. After I made this public, I was approached by a rad guy named Zach, who has a 2% kidney function level, spends 8-10 hours a day on dialysis. There's no guarantee I'm eligible or even compatible with him, so I want to share his website to share awareness, encourage you to hit the donate button. If you don't want to give up a kidney, then feel free to kick in some cash because you could use it. Kidneyforzach.com.
That's CH, kidneyforzach.com. Man, those are the true heroes of the universe.
Absolutely. But you can be a hero in your own right. If you post your thing on the Diamond Time posts on our subreddit, it is right there at the top of the page. You'll see Diamond Time right next to it. We read the top 3. And I agree with the first poster as well. Come on in. The water's fine. Reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. Share all the fun things that you have. Talk about the fun topics. So many to choose from in the podcast of the Diamond Club world. You have cord killers. You got this show. You got politics. You got jury. Everything that you want right there. Bada
Hills,
boom.
yeah. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the totally irrelevant Movie Draft Minute. It's a shitty game.
Welcome to
Nobody
Movie
likes
Draft
it.
Minute, presented by CosmicRadio.tv for the week of August 13th, 2018. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. I've always wanted to paraphrase this line, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. $1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool, chat realm? Team Core Killers is in 6th place, $454.1 million. Team Chips Bitch is in 5th place, $563 million. Team Tell It Anyways in 4th place, $564.4 million. Team Nitac is in 3rd place, $732.9 million. Team DTNS is in 2nd place, $768.9 million. And in 1st place with a whopping $1.039 billion, it's Team John Trekker. And that is your Move Draft Minute for the week of August 13th, 2018.
Yeah, so anyway, it was a dumb game to begin with.
come on,
I
be
always
a
said
good
it was a
sport.
bad idea.
Oh, geez.
No, congratulations.
Hey, number one, big congratulations to Team John Trekker. John, of course, had his brand new card game Action News come out this week, and Brett had his second daughter Sloan come out this week. So big week for both of them, I guess.
2 big releases.
Yeah, 2 big releases. No, but in all seriousness, Sloan Roundsville, congratulations. Brett is now a father for the second time. The family is all doing well, so we wish our absolute best to the Roundsvilles, the now 4 people strong Roundsville clan.
Hey, how come when I got that photo, I responded, I just hit reply, but it went to you and Andrew? Do you know what was going on with that? Yeah, all right. Apple, get your shit together.
All I know is that we were on a podcast, and then Brian started responding, and I was very confused.
Well, especially because it was a podcast that I was supposed to be on, but was not there because I had just gotten back, and I realized it was physically not possible for me to do Cord Killers unless I, carved out the next 2.5 hours to prepare for it, and so I bowed out of Weird Things. So in the middle of after bowing out of Weird Things, I start texting congratulations to Andrew and Justin about Brett's new arrival.
Totally out of context. It was like, baby, and it's like. But thankfully, I knew what it was because I was on both things, which I don't know, for whatever reason. I guess it's a thing.
That's weird. So, what did we learn today, Justin?
Well, we learned that Piff the Magic Dragon performs at the Flamingo Casino.
Yeah, man. Whether the world is ending or not, he'll look you right in the eye and salute you shortly before Mmmbop hits its second chorus.
Yeah. We learned that Team John Trekker won the movie draft.
Yeah, and we learned that good golly, come hell or high water, we're gonna tell the truth to you guys as we feel it in our hearts. You're the most important thing in our collective friendship's life, and we can't thank you enough for having been here for coming up on 10 years, 10 goddamn years, and hundreds of episodes. We love you guys with everything in our being. Do us a favor, people. Die in a fire.
See you next Tuesday. And thank you, Renegoo. Renegoo, 200 bits.
Woo! Bit boss. Bit bossy, baby.
Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. I love you.
Workman Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.